I'm not joking when I say this Oilers team needs to be studied. Just when you think they're out, they come back swinging even harder than before. And I say this with the utmost confidence, no one, and I mean no one, has a read on this team. Not the die-hard Oilers fans, not the so-called hockey experts. This Oilers team continues to prove everyone wrong, including myself. I get to hear and talk with some of the biggest hockey insiders in all of Canada every single day. The Jamie McLennans, the Darren Dragers, the Luke Gazdicks, the Craig Buttons of the world. And even they don't have a freaking clue of what to expect from this Oilers team. However, I do have some theories. This is Above Average. I'm YouTube Trev, and thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, I'll be giving you my thoughts on this Oilers team, share why I think they are so unpredictable, and if this is part of some elaborate plan. I'll give you the answers to Stuart Skinner. Is he good? Is he bad? Or is he just like every other Oiler on the team, getting everyone's hopes up right before he shuts you out in the following game? All of this will be discussed in today's video. Thanks for all the continued support, guys. Really appreciate it. You guys are absolutely crushing it. The last video I did, I got more subs than I have in quite some time. So if you like what you're seeing, if you like Oilers, if you like hockey, I'm going to be, now that I moved in, I finally moved into my new place. Last week was just, it was a train wreck. More on that at the end of this video. But seriously, thanks for all the continued support. It really means the world. Drop a comment down below because I do interact with every single one. If you don't believe me, just give it a go. And like I said, I usually have a clock here that is the sponsored segment of the video, but I haven't quite set up where I want to set up, my studio kind of thing. So haven't set up the clock yet, but I will be highlighting the most liked previous comment in my previous video. So drop a comment down below. If it gets the most likes, I'll be giving you a shout out in my next video. So definitely do that. And I reply to every single one. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, be sure to leave a like because Oilers fans, your team is just one win away from the Western Conference Finals. And it really does look like the Oilers have some unfinished business. So let's see if we can get this bad boy to 300 likes. And with all of that out of the way, let's hop right back into this video. Thank you guys. Yeah, so I kind of want to start off with the regular season. And a lot of people, because this is where it really all started with. At the beginning of the year, is typical Oilers fashion. They came out kind of slumping. They're slow starters. We saw that after the Christmas break. We saw that to start the regular season. We definitely saw it after the Four Nations break. This Oilers team has a hard time getting in gear, has a hard time getting, into games. And it's interesting. So my theory to this, guys, this team did just go, as close as you can to winning the Stanley Cup Game 7. And just when they clawed themselves back into the series, they won 3 games and just to lose it. Just to lose it, okay? So I'm sorry, but I definitely think that played a fact into, why the Oilers just had a pretty mid-season. Their mind, I really do think the Connor McDavids, the Leon Draisaitl's, all the way to, Corey Perry, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Zach Hyman, Adam Henrique, the list goes on and on. I really do think in the regular season, all the players on the team were thinking playoffs. Like, let's just get to playoffs. So, and, in order to get to the playoffs, you obviously have to put together a pretty good regular season. Did they do that? Meh. It was pretty, to Oilers standards, they definitely could have done a lot more. They could have been a lot better, as you've seen what they've been able to do as of late. But the honest to God truth, I believe that's what happened with the Oilers. I just think they were thinking playoffs they weren't thinking about the regular season. They just wanted to be done. They hated it. They just wanted to get going with the playoffs. But like I said, it takes some time to get back into the playoffs, and they finally get back into the playoffs. And what happens? And this is the part where it's kind of an anomaly. No one really knows what to expect on this Oilers team. And you saw all the hockey experts, everyone, and I mean everyone. There was few people, and most of the people were, from here in Edmonton. That's where I'm living. A lot of them were, outside of Edmonton, saying they do not stand a chance against the LA Kings. This LA Kings team is different, but right where you think, you got the Oilers right where you want them, what do? They come back with, what was it? I believe it was 6 consecutive comeback wins, which was, is now an NHL record held by the Edmonton Oilers. And it starts with Connor McDavid, the brilliance of him. And I just want to say there's this theory, there's this narrative going around that it's part of an elaborate plan. And Chris Knobloch, he says, no, okay, let's start the first period slow. Let's start the second period slow, and we'll really surprise the next, the team that we're up against in the third period. We'll get them caught off guard. And people are really buying into this idea. And I'm here to tell you that could be, that couldn't be any further from the truth. That is so not correct. And I hate that people are saying that, oh no, like that's like, it's crazy how many times I've seen that in comments on Instagram, Twitter, like, oh no, this is all part of Chris Knobloch's plan. That is not true. I'm sorry, but you think that would be okay with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl telling those guys, take it easy for the first two periods, and then, in the third period, come out shot like a cannon, you'll really catch the team off guard? No, I think it just all stems back from the fact that this team is just naturally, back against the wall kind of, mentality. I really do believe that. And you've seen it time and time again. Just when you think they're, they're done, and you kind of saw it last year. It really all started with the Florida Panthers, being down 3 games to none. What did they do? They stormed their way back to make a 7-game series out of it. Ultimately, it was too late, but I mean, you're really seeing that in this year's playoffs. Just when you think they're done, they come back and even stronger. And so that narrative is just, I want to just debunk it. That is myth busted. That's not actually a thing. And if you actually think that's a thing and you're spreading that, it's not true. Come on, give your head a shake. And what it all comes down to, in my honest opinion, and what everyone, everyone's been saying this. So like I said, I do have the chance. I'm pretty fortunate to, talk with some of the biggest hockey insiders in all of Canada, which is really cool at my gig. I'll put a link in the description if you like all things sports. Edmonton Sports Talk. We talk sports from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at night, and then we do pre and post for the Oilers games. Definitely check us out. That's where I work. It's pretty cool. But I just think it all stems back to the fact that this team is just, they're just naturally slow starters. And, when they do get going, they can, as we saw in Game 5 of the Oilers-Kings series. That was one of the best games I've seen of them all year. The last game they played was just yesterday, obviously, the 3-0 shutout. Stewie Skins with the shutout, which is just, it was good to see. It was a good moment for not just the Edmonton Oilers, but for Stuart Skinner himself. It's weird. It's so weird. And that's why all the talk in the hockey world right now is this Edmonton Oilers team. Are they contenders? Are they pretenders? No one really knows, because they do. And this is the frustrating thing, because I watch every single game of the Oilers, and part of me is convinced. Part of me is like, holy crap, this team, they could win the Stanley Cup. When they're 100% going, yep, they're unbeatable. No team matches up with them. The skill, the physicality, whatever way you want to look at it, this is the best team in the league. And then you see what they do sometimes. The defensive lapses in late games. You saw in Game 1 of the Kings. They just don't know what they're doing. And then obviously the 0.4, the Game 3 against the Golden Knights. What a gut, swift kick in the nuts that was. And so there's, it's really tough to find the identity. And people were throwing that word around a lot going into the playoffs. This team doesn't have an identity. And I think that plays a part, because you don't know what to expect. They're not like what other team? You could say the Vegas Golden Knights. You could say the LA Kings, just a consistent, really good season that they had this regular season. No, the Oilers were up and down. So that's just who they are. It's ingrained in their DNA as a team. And for whatever reason, that's the case. I don't understand it. No one does. But honestly, part of the Oilers' success, and you got to give this guy some credit, Chris Knobloch, the Edmonton Oilers head coach going into the playoffs. In the regular season, he was making some line adjustments that not a lot of people were agreeing with. And, I put me in with them because there was some stuff he was doing. I'm like, meh. But, I mean, he's the shot caller. Everything he seems to be doing, no team has an answer for it. The LA Kings, yeah, Jim Hiller, not a chance. Connor and Leon together. Okay, now they're not together. Then you throw Kane up. Like, he is constantly putting this guy with him, and it's working. It really is. It's working, and it's chef's kiss. That's one thing I've noticed. You got to give him some credit. Victor Arvidsson, he's had a couple bad games in a row. What does he do? Kasperi Kapanen, who, the last 21 games of the season, I don't think he got a single goal. He comes in and he was hitting everything. He was skating fast. You threw him right in the top 6 with Leon Draisaitl. And you saw this last year as well in the playoffs. Corey Perry and Ryan McLeod, I think it was Game 5 of the Star Series. they're out. They were out for game 4. They come back and they contribute on such a huge goal. I think it was in the last minute of the first, or early in the second. But Corey Perry and Ryan McLeod on Leon Draisaitl's line. Boom, Bob's your uncle. So you got to give Chris Knoblauch some credit. He's absolutely pulling the right strings, and it's really working for this team. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say. I just wanted to give some credit to the head coach. And this is the last thing I kind of want to talk about. And this kind of video is all over the place. And I know a lot of people are like, well, this really isn't answering anything. This is just my thoughts on the team and where they are. And it's all the theories out there. This is just my thoughts as to what's really going on and what this team is and why they're doing what they're doing. But as for goaltending, this team at times has low confidence. And I mean really, really low. You saw, and especially when Stuart Skinner's in net. When Stuart Skinner is in net and a goal is allowed, the team deflates. They were up 2-0 against the Vegas Golden Knights Game 3 at home. And then it was 2-1, and then before you know it, it was 2-2, and just like that, the team doesn't know what they're doing. They're like, what the heck is going on? This sucks. But last night, Stuart Skinner, I mean, yeah, he did get the shutout. I will say, was it the best shutout in the world? I don't believe that's the case at all. But the Oilers, they played stellar in front of them, and that just goes to show, like, when they want to play good defense, they can. It's so weird. It's so weird to watch, and that's why I keep on going back to no one really knows what this team can do, the potential of this team, who they are. But I do know one thing: when they are on and when they are performing at their best, and you got all 4 lines rolling, and the defense is really clicking, and the goaltenders, have some confidence in Calvin Pickard and Stuart Skinner, this team is really fun to watch, and they're tough to beat. And every other team in the NHL should really be worried, because they really could go far again, and they're 1 win away from going to the Western Conference Finals for the 3rd time in 4 years, which is pretty cool. But this time, and I really like what Craig Budden had to say earlier today on our show, he said, at the peak right now, this team looks better than they did last year. And last year they went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So I'll finish with that, guys. But what are your thoughts on this Oilers team? Do you think they have what it takes to go to Game 7 again? What is with these comebacks? And they look amazing, like the best team in the league in one game, and then the next game they just absolutely crap the bed. What are your thoughts? Like I said, drop a comment down below, as I do read and interact with every single one. And yeah, let's go. The Oilers, 1 win away from going to the Western Conference Finals. That deserves a like. So let's go, baby. It is that time of the video, brought to you by www.timetrackers.ca. And like I said, I don't have the clock up because I did just move, which was not fun. I will say, was not fun. But in the last video I did, the most like comment I had was, let me do some scrolling here. Okay, I'm going to go with this guy. Yeah, I mean, he's right on the dot right now. Huge shout out to WC1957, calling for the Oilers in 5. Got 9 likes. Let's see if we can get more likes than that on a comment. Write something funny. Something funny. Obviously, if it's not too, I can't have anything too bad. I'm not going to shout out anything a little vulgar. The last one, actually, the most liked comment in this video is pretty vulgar. I'm not going to read that. So keep it a little bit PG, and if it's funny, I'll give it a shout out. But yeah, 9 likes. Huge shout out to at WC1957. So that's all I got for this one, guys. A little bit longer of a video for you guys, but yeah, I mean, this is awesome. It really, really is. So what are your thoughts? Drop a comment down below. Thanks for all the continued support. I'm YouTube Trev. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description to my work, Edmonton Sports Talk. We're on YouTube, so if you want to watch us talk sports all day long, that's exactly what we do. Okay, I'm signing off. Let's go, baby. I got a lot of content coming your way. Obviously, I finally moved in. It sucked I wasn't able to upload more last week. It really ticked me off, but that's the way she goes. Don't be average when you can be above average. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.